This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 2016, 9 Things to Think About Before You Give Up, by Marc Chernoff of marcandangel.com, and I'm Justin Malik. Happy Friday, and welcome back to Optimal Living Daily, or the OLD podcast, where I read to you from the best blogs I can find and get permission from, mostly covering personal development and minimalism on this show. But we cover a bunch of other topics in the Optimal Living Daily podcast network. Definitely subscribe to those if you like this one. Just search for Optimal Living Daily wherever you're hearing this to find all of our shows. For now, let's get right to another post and start optimizing your life. 9 Things to Think About Before You Give Up, by Marc Chernoff of marcandangel.com. If you feel like you're at the end of the road with nowhere to go, realize you are lying to yourself. You've imprisoned yourself in your own mind by telling self-defeating stories about what your life should be like, what you should have already accomplished, and so forth. By doing this, you've created a tiny space in your mind, and you've begun to believe you're actually living in it. But you are not. You are alive in a vast world with infinite destinations. Take a moment to remind yourself of this. Go outside, look at the sky and the clouds. This is the space in which you really live. Breathe it in, then look at your current situation again. Here are some things you need to consider before you give up. Number 1, you never fail until you're satisfied with failure. Failure is not falling down. Failure is staying down when you have the choice to get back up. Sometimes you have to fail 1,000 times to succeed, which means you haven't really failed yet. You've just found a bunch of ways that don't work. So don't get so hung up on a few failed attempts that you miss every new opportunity coming your way. All of your ideas that don't work are simply stepping stones on your way to the one idea that does. As Winston Churchill once said, quote, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts," end quote. Read Awaken the Giant Within. Number 2, what you have learned is what's important. Life always offers you a second chance. It's called tomorrow. But this second chance doesn't mean anything if you haven't learned from the events of today. You have to acknowledge your troubles, but gather strength from them, and laugh at your mistakes, but learn from them. Getting a second chance in life is about giving yourself the opportunity to grow beyond your past failures. It's about learning as you go and positively adjusting your attitude and efforts toward future possibilities. Number 3, tough times are just part of life's natural balance. Life lives, life dies, life laughs, life cries, life gives up, and life tries. And life looks different through everyone's eyes. In fact, who you were, who you are, and who you will become are 3 completely different people. And as you gradually grow beyond the person you were yesterday, keep life's challenges in perspective. Hear life's harmony and notice the delicate balance. Realize that life is like playing a grand piano. The white keys create your happiness and the black keys denote your troubles. But as you go through life's journey, remember that the black keys also create music. Number 4, pain helps you grow. Sometimes things must change so you can change. Sometimes you must break a little so you can get a peek inside to see what an awesome powerhouse you are. Sometimes mistakes must be made so wisdom can be earned. Sometimes you must overcome heartache so you can begin to follow your heart again. Number 5, success is a way of living. Don't let your struggles become your identity. Not everything in your life will go as you expect it to. This is why you need to drop expectations, live in the present, and go with the flow rather than against it. Remind yourself that it's perfectly okay not to be perfect. Ultimately, success is not something you achieve. It is what you learn and how you grow as you deal with the realities of life. It is a way of living and being. Read as a man thinketh. Number 6, you can choose differently. The difference between a mountain and a molehill is your perspective. And in many cases, the only thing in life you have control over is your perspective. No matter what happens, you control what the meaning is and what to do with the meaning you give to the circumstance. Choose to react in a way that motivates happiness, love, or forgiveness, even when circumstances make that choice difficult. Number 7, it's not supposed to be easy. Just because you're not where you want to be today doesn't mean you won't be there someday. Again, success is tied to long-term determination. Successful people keep moving and trying. They make mistakes, but they do not quit. If things in your life aren't happening as planned right now, that's okay. It just means it's not the right time. Life's brick walls are not there to keep you out. They're there to give you a chance to show how badly you want something. They're there to stop the people who don't want it as bad as you do. Number 8, simplify, simplify, simplify. Like all magnificent things, life is quite simple. Its simplicity is found not in seeing how little you can get by with, that's poverty, but how efficiently you can conquer your biggest difficulties. Remember, the greatest wisdom of life consists in the elimination of non-essentials. Your most significant ideas and accomplishments will be genius in their simplicity. One day you will find the right words, the right decisions, and the right solutions that'll lead you to victory, and they'll be far simpler than they seem right now. Read The Power of Less. And number 9, life is still good. You may have seen better days, but you have also seen worse. You might not have all your wants, but you do have all your needs. You woke up with a few aches and pains, but you woke up. Your life may not be perfect, but it is good. And more good things are coming down the road as long as you keep moving forward. You just listened to the post titled 9 Things to Think About Before You Give Up by Marc Chernoff of marcandangel.com. And now my days have been pretty busy. I've been doing a bit of somewhat local traveling, and one of the last things on my mind is taking a supplement. Though I know it's good for me to make sure I'm getting my vitamins and minerals, it's not an enjoyable experience that I look forward to daily, but in the end, the only habits that last are the ones I enjoy. I know you've heard that on this show before. That's why Teonon created a range of instant beverages packed with the benefits of 6 functional mushrooms. These delicious drinks are made with potent, fruiting body extracts and are not only a pleasure to consume, but provide a wide range of wellness benefits, including improvements to your immunity, gut health, energy, and mental clarity. There are 7 different flavors to choose from, and all their drinks are USDA organic, vegan, GMO-free, gluten-free, and sugar-free. Visit their website at teonon.com, that's TEONAN.com, and use the code OLD to get 15% off your first purchase. That's teonon.com with code OLD to get 15% off your first purchase, and I have that linked in this episode's description. Thank you to Marc. We talked about rejection and failure in Sunday's episode. That's episode 2011. So if you want to hear more on that, definitely check out that episode. Like you heard on that one, I've had my fair share of failures, like pretty much everyone on this planet, starting out right when we're babies. Taking those first steps or crawling definitely started with failing. But that's how we build those muscles and learn to balance, by wobbling around, falling down, sometimes even hitting our heads, unfortunately. And as Marc said, the learning is the most important part. If you decide to do something outside of your comfort zone and it doesn't kill you, chances are that there will be some learning there. It's easier said than done, especially if you have something like anxiety. And in that case, sometimes jumping into something is not the best move. I'd recommend talking to a therapist or professional to figure out the best move for you. But I'd say in most cases, it's a net positive. As Marc said, it's never easy. Pain is a requirement, and most importantly, life is still good. I couldn't have said it better, so thank you to Marc, and keep that in mind this weekend. I hope you're having a great start to your weekend. Thank you for being here and listening to me and for subscribing to the show, and I'll be back tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.